Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today we will be covering the G7's emergency talks over access to U.S. frontier AI models, Microsoft making Copilot Cowork generally available with a new usage-based pricing model, xAI shipping Grok Imagine Video 1.5, and Google and Siemens revealing how they're using AI agents to modernize massive legacy codebases. Let's start with the biggest policy story of the week. G7 leaders meeting in Evian-les-Bains, France, are now openly debating a trusted partner's plan to restore or widen access to advanced U.S. AI models for selected countries and companies. This comes after the Trump administration ordered Anthropic to disable Fable 5 and Mythos 5 to block foreign national access. Axios reported that Anthropic was given just 90 minutes to take the models down after Amazon flagged a possible jailbreak concern to U.S. officials. 90 minutes. That's the kind of timeline that turns a product decision into a geopolitical incident. And the stakes are real, because pre-order access to Mythos had already gone to organizations in more than 15 countries, including entities in critical sectors like banking, healthcare, energy, and water. French President Emmanuel Macron called the U.S. move strictly nationalist, while still acknowledging the genuine risks of frontier AI. Sam Altman used the G7 launch to push for an international forum on AI guardrails, arguing AI's future should be shaped by society and democratic institutions, not just by the companies building the most capable systems. That's a notable line coming from the CEO of the company building some of those systems. The bigger question that surfaces is whether U.S. frontier models are global infrastructure or strategic assets Washington can pull at will, and right now, allies don't love the answer. Moving to Microsoft, which made Copilot Cowork generally available worldwide on June 16th. Cowork is Microsoft's long-running agent that handles complex multi-step tasks across Microsoft 365, and the company says more than half of the Fortune 500 used it during the 3-month Frontier preview. The headline shift isn't just availability, though. It's pricing. Microsoft is moving Cowork to usage-based billing through something called Copilot Credits, calculated from model use, context retrieval, tool calls, and runtime. Pay-as-you-go pricing starts at 1 cent per credit, and billing kicks in immediately, with a grace period until July 1st for tenants that were already using it in preview. This is a real shift in how enterprise AI gets sold. You still need a Microsoft 365 Copilot seat license, but the agent's actual work is metered like cloud compute. Microsoft's Charles Lamanna framed the value proposition bluntly, saying Cowork returns, quote, "a completed result, not just a draft or a recommendation. That's the pitch for paying by the task instead of the seat." At launch, Cowork runs on Anthropic's Opus 4.8 and Sonnet 4.6, with GPT 5.5 available in Frontier and a cheaper in-house Cowork 1 model on the way. Interestingly, Axios also reported Microsoft is considering a Microsoft-hosted DeepSeek option as an even lower-cost choice, which would be a notable move given the geopolitical sensitivity around Chinese models. The trade-off for enterprises is obvious. Agents that actually finish work are valuable, but finance teams now have a new line item to forecast, and nobody really knows yet what a heavy Cowork user costs per month. Over at xAI, Elon Musk's company shipped Grok Imagine Video 1.5, making it generally available in the xAI API. It's an image-to-video model, meaning you feed it a still image and it animates it into a short clip. The faster variant, Video 1.5 Fast, is rolling out on Grok's web, iOS, and Android apps, and can produce a 6-second 720p video in about 25 seconds, down from more than 40 seconds on the previous version. xAI's pitch is simple: better motion, better physics, better audio. The audio piece matters. Video 1.5 generates synchronized audio and speech alongside the visuals, which puts it in the same conversation as Google's Veo and OpenAI's Sora, for creators who don't want to bolt on a separate voice track. xAI is also leaning into production workflows with searchable libraries, projects, and multiple parallel agents that can generate variations at once. Pricing for the API lands at 8 cents per second of video. The broader read here is that the AI video race has moved past flashy demos. The competition is now about API reliability, speed, and whether these tools can slot into real creative pipelines. Finally, Google Cloud published a case study with Siemens that's worth paying attention to, even though it's not a flashy model launch. They built something called Knowledge Fabric to modernize Siemens' industrial codebases, which span hundreds of millions of lines and have knowledge scattered across Code, Jira, Confluence, and scanned manuals. The pilot focused on migrating old control panel interfaces to modern web-based ones. What's interesting is the architecture. Instead of pointing one giant model at a giant repo and hoping for the best, they use spanner graph to model relationships across the codebase, layered in vector and full-text search, and routed work through specialized agents for search, user stories, architecture impact, task breakdown, and coding. The stack pulls from both sides of the frontier model world, using Google's Gemini API and Agent Development Kit alongside Anthropic's Claude code. Google says dependency analysis that used to take senior engineers several days now takes far less time, while keeping industrial quality standards intact. Siemens, Franz Menzel described the goal as freeing engineers from repetitive work so they can focus on higher-value problem-solving. For anyone watching whether agentic coding actually works on serious production systems rather than weekend side projects, this is one of the clearer real-world patterns to study, and it suggests the winning approach isn't one superagent, but a coordinated team of smaller, grounded ones, with humans reviewing the high-stakes moves.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.